Hazy Park Lodge Caravan Park is set under a canopy of mango trees in a country setting in the farmlands around Hazyview. It's very close to the Kruger National Park. One of the entrances into the park is only 10 or 15 kilometers from here, so very convenient to stop here before or after you visit the park. The caravan park is basic. Everything feels a little old. That feeling like the place hasn't been very successful over the past 5 or 10 years. But it has got a few things going for it, and one of them is the best winter weather that I've seen, probably anywhere in the world. I spent 6 months here in the winter of 2024, and most days I walked around in shorts and t-shirt during the day and enjoyed very mild evenings with temperatures that were perfect for a good sleep. My little drone that I use to film all the aerial scenes in these videos is called a Mavic Mini. It's a product from DJI. It's an excellent little drone, flies beautifully and takes excellent video footage. I've had it for about 6 years and I'm very careful with it, but over time, as my flying skills have improved, I've got a bit more daring. I was sure that I could bring it down through this small gap in the mango leaves and almost made it, but the last little branch got it. It got caught about 20 feet up in the branches. I knocked it off the branch with a pole extension that I have. I thought that I could catch the drone as it fell, but what with holding the pole and the total chaos as it fell, I missed it completely and it bounced off the ground quite hard. But it's a hardy little tool, and after I'd straightened a few things, it started up again and took off as if nothing had happened, and continues to fly and film beautifully a year later. The surrounding area is hilly, with gorges and gullies and farm trees in the distance. The main farming activities are avocado and macadamia production, with farms here being passed down through generations of family ownership. I used to walk and ride my bike on the macadamia farm that was right next to the caravan park. I'd initially gone up to the top of the hill that you can see in the distance and popped in at the doctor's office to ask them if I could leave my car in their parking lot where I went for a walk down the street for some exercise and to see the area. The receptionist told me that I could walk on the farm that the doctor's office was on, and when I asked her how big the farm was, because I thought it might be a bit too small, she said it was big enough for a good walk. As it turned out, it was huge in area, going all the way back to my caravan park and much further on the other side. The doctor and the receptionist were part of the family that owned the farm. I walked for about an hour on that section of the farm, passing a dam and orchards and flower plantations. At one point I saw a huge round footprint in some mud. When I got back, I asked the receptionist what it was, and she told me that there were a few hippos near the dam, which made me wonder what I would have done if I'd come face to face with a wild hippo in the middle of nowhere. I had my soccer whistle and my pepper spray, which I always take along when I walk. I suppose that could have been helpful, but I could just imagine choking on pepper spray while being mauled and trampled by an irate 2-ton hippo, blowing my whistle like crazy, trying to get away from this crazy animal. So I had permission to walk on the farm whenever I wanted some exercise, which was almost every day. Needless to say, I didn't go back to the top farm to walk again, what with the hippos and all. I walked on the farm right next door, and that really was perfect. I'd grab the caravan park dog and we'd go off on a discovery jaunt through the macadamia orchards, walking as far as I felt like walking and then going home. Often in this world, if you just ask, you get amazing things happening for you. If you don't ask, chances are you'll get nothing. The caravan park is 5 kilometers away from the town of Hazyview. It's a nothing little town, run down like most South African country towns, but I liked it. It has a lovely Checkers where I used to do all my shopping, and people are quite friendly if I smile and ask nicely. The caravan park has a shed and braai area which they hire out for weddings and parties. While I was there, the motorbike club from the next town came for the weekend. It was quite fun until about midnight on the Saturday night, when it clearly was not going to stop, and it was getting louder. The party was really going on, although the band had gone home. At 4 in the morning, some drunken fool was singing "I Did It My Way," unaccompanied and slurring, when somebody turned off the power, and the relief that I felt was enormous. I couldn't sleep through that rubbish. The next morning I wondered why I hadn't turned off the power myself 4 hours earlier than it was actually turned off when the band went home. The box was right outside my caravan and I knew exactly which switch to flip. Ah well, sometimes I'm a little slow. I paid 3,000 rand a month to stay here, which included electricity and water. I thoroughly enjoyed my stay, but there was one aspect that was startling. There was a lot of theft happening at night. After I'd been there for a week, I heard a car alarm going off and went outside to have a look. I saw a fellow running down the fence to the one side of the park. I thought that was a bit strange, and then 2 minutes later, 2 more thieves came hurrying down to make their escape. I didn't quite know what to do. I'd never seen a robbery before. They took all of the expensive battery-operated power tools from one of the buckies that was about 50 meters away from my caravan, and they got away with a lot of loot. Every evening the park manager used to come outside and fire off a couple of blanks from his gun in an attempt to chase off thieves, and the dogs would occasionally go crazy, at least once a night. Eventually you just sleep through it all. I slept through the evening that they came to my place, and all my hand tools were stolen one night. A week later my bicycle and a camp chair disappeared, and I started paying more attention to my security.
I bought 2 motion sensor alarms, and at night I used to put one in the car and one in my tent. I also filled my washing machine with water while it wasn't in use, which made it very heavy so that it wouldn't be easy to carry away. The alarm in my tent went off one night, and I had a look, couldn't see anything, and in the morning I found that some thief had sliced my tent with a sharp blade. The alarm probably went off when he stuck his head into the tent to see what he could steal, but he must have got a hell of a fright and run away. I sprinkled huge amounts of dried leaves around the caravan so that I might hear their footsteps when they came, but these guys are very good. They also have inside information, and I knew it was the 2 garden workers that were giving them the information, but what can you do? These are desperate people who are struggling to survive. At least they didn't try to do me any harm. I did hear stories though. A mechanic who'd worked on my car in town had shot and killed 5 people when he was attacked. The locals referred to the place as the Wild West, so that's Hazyview. Great winter weather and a really nice countryside, but a couple of problems too. I give Hazy Park Lodge a rating of 6 out of 10. It would be a lovely place in normal times, but we don't live in normal times. The people are suffering, and the situation is likely to get worse in South Africa before it gets better.